putting a little siding up, decided to go with some cedar. See if we can cut out the sun and part of the blowing rain from this side. I left about 7 foot down below on top of the slab to be able to pass boards back. But we got 10 foot here on the end that we're covering. Wanted it to be pretty, so I went ahead and went with some cedar. That way I could appreciate it from now on. This one's 21 inches wide. I got 2 or 3 of them that are 22 inches wide. They got what I call a little bit of dote in them. In Louisiana, on an older cedar tree, a lot of times we'll get just a little bit of rot where it started to die back. But it's going to be pretty. We'll probably put a little varnish on it. Knowing me. Not yet. Okay, I got Ann Margaret operating the SkyTrack again. She's about to let me down. I've got 3 boards up here. This is a 12 1/4, that's a 22, and that's a 21. So like I said, you can see a little bit of the dote in it, a little bit of the rot, but it is cedar, and I'm gonna treat this outside. I'm varnishing the inside with a little sanding because it's gonna be in the shade, but on this outside, I'm probably gonna treat it with diesel. I'm not quite sure yet to help stop that rot. Of course, the places that aren't rotten will be a long time rotting, but the majority of it's solid. Amazing how this stuff turns brown very shortly after being in the sun. Just bright red earlier when I cut it. Still gorgeous. All right, baby, let me down. Okay, so we're down on the ground. I'm not squaring this end up yet. This is chainsaw cut. When we cut the tree down, I'm giving myself 2 inches extra. So when I get it up in there, I can pull a string and cut it. I'm accounting for my angle. This one's 11 inches. I measure over 11, put a mark, measure over 11, put a mark, and I measure from here up, and I add 2 inches, which is 1/18. I measure from here over, and I get 113, so it's 115. So anyway, cut the angle on it, carry this piece up, and do the same thing with the next. Here's the top. So I'm up here at the top, and this one has a little knot that's probably going to come out as I cut it. We're putting a trim piece on this, so it doesn't have to be perfect. I'll put a 4 to 6 inch trim piece up top. I'll cut across here, and I'll have a little extra width there. But I'm going to come back in a couple weeks once this is a little drier and put some bats on the front with some live edge bark on each piece. So it'll be pretty, and cover those holes once it shrinks just a little. Go. Perfect angle. Even if I don't put a trim board up there. A little hot this evening too, by the way, if you can't tell. 94?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With like 92% humidity
With no
and a heat index of like 89 times higher than what it is right
Oh
now.
my goodness.
Ugh.
So I go ahead and start me 2 screws. That way when I'm up in the air, I won't have to do that. We raise up, install this one, measure over for the next one, which is
Big.
20 3/4 wide by 1 inch thick.
Big.
Eastern red cedar.
Gorgeous.
Up one at a time. Cedar, 1 by 20s, 21s, 22s, and 1 by 12s. Like I said, some of them have a little dote in them, some of them have some cracks, but they'll work fine for this. And oh my goodness, they're gorgeous. Normally use a little more precise tool, but I'm gonna cut this with a chainsaw. That 2x8 was measured off the concrete. The guys forgot we have a slope coming out for the rain, so we're off just a little. We're getting it straight. That's the inside. It's gonna be a heck of a view, especially once I get the varnish on it. I'll go back once it dries just a little and put the bats on the outside. I'm gonna try to get some little cedars about 6 or 8 inches, cut and leave the live edge on. See the bark from the outside and have more white in them.